I am ready when you are.
Okay, put on the back everyone. The next run, not some more Zelda runs. You are free to go. Alright.
Alright, cool. I probably should have mentioned that I'm gonna be mashing through, and I probably won't do a countdown, but I'm gonna say now for you to start the timer, because I have an external timer called the Arkazoth Cycle Timer, and this is very important for the run. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and post it in chat, so people kind of have an idea of what I'm using. And this timer basically starts the moment I press A on this game right here. And so I won't be able to kind of do a countdown when I start, but when I say now, then you can just start the timer right away. And alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and load up real soon, and then I'll say now when I press A on the file save. Alright, but it will be soon though. Alright, now. Thankfully I have my charger, JPB, so I should be good on battery. Yeah, no worries on my battery. That should be good. But thanks for your concern. So yeah, you still with me? You still with me again for this run? Welcome to The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, the all masks category. This is gonna be a real nice treat if you've never seen a run of this before, because this is way different than any speedrun you'll see in the original Majora's Mask. There's some similarities, but overall a completely different experience. And I do hope you all enjoy. And all masks, in my opinion, is the best category for this remake. So there are going to be a lot of cutscenes in the beginning, just like speedruns of the original. So that's one of the similarities right there. But there are going to be a few different things I'm going to be doing. But one of the nice things about this, however, is that text goes really fast. I just mash right through it, and it's just, excuse me, it just goes by really quickly. So that's really nice. Now, there's one detour I'm going to make on the way to entering the clock tower. Is that I'm going to go a little bit what may seem like out of the way to get a chest that has Deku Nuts inside of it. But those Deku Nuts are going to be imperative to be able to escape the clock town. And you're going to know more on why that is pretty soon. But so far, with this run, there's lots of things to look forward to. There's the Goron missile trick, which actually exists in the original version, but it's not really useful in their speedruns. But it's super useful in our speedruns, because we don't need to deal with, I think it was the Zero Day glitch in the original to be able to use it. We just need certain items, and we're able to do it just about, or almost anywhere, pretty much. And it's going to be used for a lot of the skips, but there's also going to be other really huge skips that don't involve Goron Missile, but they involve other crazy stuff within the game's mechanics and whatnot. Alright, so right here is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to make my way to where the logs are and just do some fancy jumping. Now, it might seem a lot more, to make a lot more sense to do the backwalk, but it's also really easy to get caught behind a sign. So, either caught behind a sign or missed the logs entirely. So let's just roll there. It's not that big a deal. Also, I will be making a lot more safety saves this time around. Not because I run the risk of dying or anything. Dying isn't really nearly as punishing as it is in A Link Between Worlds, but more so because I could run the risk of possibly crashing the game, which would be really bad in the marathon. So you are going to see me do a lot of safety saves throughout the run. Especially since this is also a longer run as well. Like, the first safety save I'll end up making will be right before Clocktown Escape. Because if I don't do that in time, that's going to cause a lot of problems. So, definitely going to be doing that.
The girl does not exist.
So, just a few more cutscenes here and there. I'm going to turn into Deku Link.
We have to find her.
Why do they want me?
Because for all of Cycle 1, I will have no choice but to be Deku Link. But at least there's a really fancy way we can do the Clocktown Escape. Because unfortunately, unlike in the original version, we can't just backwalk past. That just doesn't work anymore. The guards are that just doesn't work anymore. A lot more strict this time. So a lot more strict this time. So we do have to get really creative. Alright, so I'm gonna backwalk here, make my way to the door. Backwalking as Deku Link is way faster than spinning, especially in the 3DS version. So that Deku nut chest that I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna be getting that very soon. It's gonna be in the very next room. Just make my way over here and get to the door. So, yep, that was the chest I was talking about earlier. I'm going to go ahead and open that right now. Because this is really important for doing the Clocktown Escape. Alright, so I can skip the text here by just simply spinning past it. So that's very convenient. And then I just do a simple side hop like that to get to the other side. Alright, so I'm just gonna spin way up here, because unfortunately there's also no way to skip this Happy Mask Salesman cutscene either. Even though you can in the original, sadly there's just no way to do it here. Even though we are able to do some form of buffering, it doesn't really work the same way as the buffering as in the original. Because the kind of buffering we have is called home menu buffering, and that doesn't really delay the 2 frames it takes to activate a cutscene. It's kind of strange, but it just wouldn't work. Not for the way this game works, at least. But I also won't be doing any home button buffering at all, because I do have the cycle timer running in the background. Nobody can see it, but I can, and it's very important for when some of the biggest skips that I do in the run for me to have running, and any form of going into the home menu will disrupt that timer. It's really strange, because The game basically has its own internal timer when you're running the game. Nothing you do within the game can affect it. The only thing that would affect it is just going into the home menu and all that stuff, or going to sleep mode as well. But I won't be doing either of those things, so things should work out pretty well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Stockpot in early. But right before talking to Granny, we're going to go ahead and talk to these two NPCs right here, Andrew and Gorman. Because the way the Bomber's Notebook works in this game is that it does some extra notifications and such. But talking to those two now will kind of skip some of that later on. So that's very helpful for me to do now. And then I come here to talk to Granny to fast forward time to the final day. So now that it's the final day, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the Stockpot Inn, and then I'm gonna make my way over to where the trading post is, and I'm gonna talk to the Scarecrow so that he can make it nighttime instantly. Because the sooner we get to day 3 nighttime, or the night of day 3, the final day, the better. Because while it's nighttime, we'd have access to a silver rupee and Stockpot Inn, and you know, the more that time runs, the sooner that the clock tower can open. So just go ahead and have fun with him for the night, or throughout the daytime until it's night. And then once it's nighttime, I'm gonna head directly to right back to the Stockpot Inn and get that chest with the silver rupee in there. Because I'm gonna buy the bomb bag. Because the bomb bag is actually what I'm gonna be using to escape Clocktown. Even though I'm just Deku Link, and normally he can't use bombs, but you can use restricted items. The restricted items glitch in order to be able to use bombs as Deku Link. You'll see it pretty soon. But first things first, I have to grab that fairy right there because I do need magic in order to do this trick at all. And, you know, just to move on with the game in general. So I'm going to go ahead, grab this rupee. And now I'm going to make my way towards the bomb shop. But on the way to the bomb shop, I'm going to go ahead and activate the owl statue here right now. This owl statue specifically automatically becomes activated when you're close enough to it. So that's kind of convenient. And it works out kind of puts us a little closer to the, you know, the entrance to this area and all that. So here's the bomb shop. But before I buy the bomb bag, I'm actually going to talk to the old lady right here first. Because it's the same exact idea as talking to Gorman and Andrew earlier with the whole skipping some of the Bomber's notification stuff. The Bomber's Notebook notifications. So I bought the bomb bag, which is good because I do need it. And I'm going to go ahead, excuse me, and deposit the rest of these rupees, because I do need some rupees in the bank, and this 49 is going to come in handy a little later. And I'm also going to make a safety save right there right now, since it's close enough to the owl, because if I fail the upcoming Clocktown escape too many times, then that's going to become a problem. My goal is to at least escape right before it turns midnight in here, because my visual cue to doing the restricted items to pull out the bomb as Deku Link is looking at his shadow while he's flying, and the countdown timer, once it's past midnight, is completely in the way of that. And to pull out the bomb is a frame perfect trick anyway. But unlike A Link Between Worlds, this game doesn't run at 60 FPS. It runs at 30 frames per second. So I have 1/30th of a second for any frame perfect trick, which is, you know, it's definitely a little more lenient than a frame perfect trick in A Link Between Worlds, but the timing is still relatively tight. So it might take a few tries. Alright, so we're gonna, now that I have magic, we're gonna head out and do the thing, the Clocktown escape. So once I'm in this flower, the reason why I got the Deku Nuts earlier is because his B button is not grayed out, which means none of the items are grayed out. So I switch while he's flying, because now it's grayed out. But when you're in the air and you switch the bombs to a slot that isn't grayed out, the bombs are not grayed out while you're in midair. Alright, nice. Second try is really good. I'm happy about that. Because at least getting it up to within 3 tries is still pretty good. But second try is definitely pretty good enough. I'll take it. I'm happy with that. And what I did just there, so that's basically 2 glitches in one. That was the Deku restricted items and the Deku flower slide. Because in this game, you can press A and dive in while holding R. And that's very useful because he's able to dive into the flower while, you know, dealing with the recoil from blocking a bomb while you're holding R. So that's how I was able to do the Deku flower slide. And I was able to sneak past underneath the guard. But I also had to be careful because he goes through any and all walls. And if I didn't have my angles aligned properly, I would fall out and void out, and I would have to attempt it again. But yeah, second try is really nice. Which means I can also actually show off the death warp, because I made it to this very specific area right before midnight. And that's especially useful, because the midnight cutscene is going to happen in this area. But when that does, that means that Clocktown ends up being the last area loaded. And when you die, you respawn at the last area loaded. But since that cutscene happens, and anytime afterwards, when I die, as long as I'm still in the same area in which the cutscene happened, I can just die, and he goes straight back to Clocktown. And you're going to see that really soon. And it's also nice that we get to have a Song of Soaring pretty early on as well, thanks to the skip. And we have the owl statue here activated, so we can come here anytime now as well. I mean, I can't really use Song of Soaring to go back to Clocktown right now either, since I don't actually have the ocarina. But it's nice to have the Song of Soaring this early. So I damaged down to 1 full heart. So it's not perfect, but it's still really good. Because in a perfect situation, I'd be down to 1/4 of a heart left. So that right after this cutscene, I could just die instantly to the Deku Baba here. Or the Mini Baba. But it works out, because I can still do the Death Warp. Because if that Clocktown escape took any more than 3rd try, then I would have to just make my way back into town, which is much slower, and I'd rather not do that. But thankfully, I got to show off the Death Warp, so that's nice. And now I'm just going to make my way into the clock tower. I'm going to hold R and mash A right here, because there's a title text box there. And I don't really want to deal with that, so I just hold R and just spin my way into the tower. So yeah, just a couple more cutscenes, because once Cycle 2 gets started, and after you learn Song of Healing and got the Deku Mask and went through all the Happy Mask Salesman strangling you to death and whatnot, you know, right after that, then that's when the run really, really picks up. I mean, I still got to show off some nice things during Cycle 1, which is nice, like the Deku Flower Slide and the Deku Restricted items in order to escape Clock Town and getting to the swamp area early, while skipping the Skull Kid cutscene over there as well, because when you are out in Terminal Field during Cycle 1, nothing is loaded, none of the actors, so none of the enemies, grottos, or cutscenes, so I was able to just walk past the Skull Kid cutscene skip without any issues. So that's really useful for me, which is nice. If for some reason it went past midnight while I was still in Terminal Field, then all the actors would be loaded up, like the enemies, the grottos, and the cutscenes. But if that, in the event where that would happen, I could just enter one of the grottos and exit out of that grotto, and everything will be unloaded again. So, wouldn't be the worst thing. And that would be only if it's past third try or something. But thankfully, that's not the case. Alright, so enjoy the one time we actually see Zelda at all. Because, yeah, this is it. This is the only time you ever see Zelda in a game, but she does teach us the Song of Time, or reminds us on how to play it, because, you know, he did learn this in Ocarina of Time originally, but for some reason he has to relearn it again. So, unlike in the original Majora's Mask, the game does not save when you play the Song of Time, so you're not going to see any resetting here, or any resetting at all, unless, you know, something goes wrong and I have to reload a safety save. But if everything goes well, you won't see any resetting at all. But yeah, I can't really reset here to skip all these upcoming cutscenes, because the game doesn't save. The game will only save when you save at an owl statue or a feather statue. The feather statues are pretty new to the 3DS remake. It's just more save points, pretty much, but you can't warp to them with Song of Soaring, you know? But, you know, it's nice to have more save points when things like when the Song of Time doesn't save the game anymore. Aw, thanks, Blue Town. So, fun fact right there, when it says, you know, 72 hours or 48 hours or 24 hours remaining and all that stuff, you can mash the B button, and that makes that little part go by a little faster. Because if you don't press anything at all, it's actually slower than how that goes in the original Majora's Mask, but you can just mash B and it goes away a little more quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly equip that to X, because that's going to be important for pretty soon. You'll know why in a moment. So, right after this, I do have to deal with one of the heaviest parts of RNG right away. And that's how quickly I can get the bomb drop. Hopefully I get really lucky and get a bomb drop quickly enough, so that I don't lose too much in-game time. Because the in-game time, it's very important at this point of the run. It's going to matter a lot. Basically, the thing I have to look out for the in-game time is that I want to make it to the Romani Ranch and to do the little mini game with Epona to learn the Epona song. I want to make it to that before nighttime of day 1. And there's plenty of things to do until then. So hopefully I don't lose too much time. But what would be ideal is if I get a bomb drop from the very first bush I cut, or at least within the first set of bushes that I cut. Anything afterwards would kind of put me in a tricky situation, but it is a good thing that I will be making safety saves throughout the run. Strangely enough, it'd be a little weird, a little bit of a weird situation to do a safety save right before leaving Clocktown, because I'm currently not inverted, but I need to do something with inverted Song of Time storage, which is what I'll be doing soon. And I want to be able to do that. And the in-game time it takes to get to the owl, it kind of still puts me in a tricky situation, so I'm just gonna have to go for it and kind of adapt in case I don't get lucky with the bomb drop, which thankfully I can. I do have some backups if it gets to that point. But, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, I get a very quick and nice bomb drop within the first patch of grass. Oh, and he also gives us the Bomber's Notebook. So, unfortunately, there's no avoiding it. But at the same time, it's also one of the most useful tools we can use in the run. But you'll know why that is a little later on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of Clocktown through the west side as quickly as possible. Oh, and the reason why I moved the bomb from Y to X is because I want this on X. Is because when I do or perform the Inverted Song of Time storage by playing Inverted Song of Time, that would include pressing the Y button. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to pull out bombs because I do need whatever bombs I can get. Oh, wow. Very lucky. I got 2 bomb drops, so I'm at 10 bombs. I got, okay, not sure why he didn't get out there, but very lucky. Very lucky. Okay, what I attempted to do there was that I wanted to do a fess off of a bomb, but sadly I didn't get it, and I don't want to just destroy my health attempting it more and more. Okay, so I also kind of messed up. I wasn't supposed to play the song right away. I was supposed to play it as I got closer. Because there are other categories that I do run in this game that do play it right away. So I kind of made a mistake, but that's okay. I do have backups to prepare for that. And there's also safety saves as well. So, not the worst thing that happened. But what was supposed to happen originally is that I play the Inverted Song of Time right before entering this area, and what would happen is that time wouldn't be running, but I would activate the storage as soon as I activate the owl statue in this area. So it's not that big a deal that I wasn't able to just do the storage, so it's not too bad. I won't need to make the safety save right here, but I will definitely have to at some point, but I should be fine. Alright, so I can still do a shield boost off that tech type, which is pretty nice, and I'll just make my way through this area like normal. Just roll my way through. So I had to jump there because I can't roll if I'm too close to Tingle, because then I'll end up talking to him, and I don't want to do that. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and roll through this snowball right here to get more Deku Nuts. Which is very useful. I do need a lot of Deku Nuts for 2 very specific fights. And I do use them quite a bit for those 2 fights alone. And I went ahead and got that Deku Stick as well. That's also going to be especially useful. Huh. Okay, I guess. Alright, that's no big deal. I'll just make my way like normal. Alright, but it's no worries. And as long as I'm not dead, then it shouldn't affect the in-game time too badly. But I'm also going to go ahead and bomb this rock here, because I do need this chest with 50 rupees. That's going to be very important for soon enough. And I'm going to go ahead and soar back to the mountain village, because I want to get the Goron Mask now. The sooner we get that, the better. But we do need the Lens of Truth to get it. Even if I have the ladder pattern memorized or something, it wouldn't really matter because we're required to have the Lens of Truth in general in order to even see the Ghost of Darmani. Because if you can't see him, you can't play the Song of Healing. Or, well, you can, but it won't do anything. So you're going to see me go in and out of the Lens Truth, but you won't see me like constantly spam it like you could in the original, because the ladder goes away instantly the moment you take him off. But the reason why I periodically take him on and off like that is because it actually won't use any magic. It takes quite a while for it to use any magic at all. As you can see, I haven't used a single amount of magic whatsoever. Alright. So right after this cutscene, I'm going to go ahead and play Song of Soaring again. And immediately go to Southern Swamp. Because we're actually going to be saving the witches. The Twin Rova Witch. Because we're going to be getting the Picto Box in this run. The Picto Box is an essential item for us to be able to do the Goron Missile. It's one of them, though. I won't be able to do it with the Picto Box alone, but by the time I get the Picto Box, I'll have the hook shot. So yeah, the Picto Box would be the last item I'll be getting right before I'm able to do Goron Missile. Alright, so let's go ahead and get out of here and head into the swamp. I'm gonna go ahead and... I go ahead and move those masks closer to the right side, because that way whenever I re-equip them again, they're close enough for me to just slide my thumb into the item slots instead of constantly going all the way from the left side and dragging them to the right. And it's a lot better than trying to memorize where the cursor is as well. Alright, so as you can see, I'm not going into a spiked roll, and that's because I do have to actually conserve some magic, which is really important. Given the unfortunate changes to the Zora swimming, I won't deny it. The changes are unfortunate for sure, but they're probably the biggest reason why I have to conserve some magic. The other reason being that Stone Mask the location has been moved to inside Pirate's Fortress, and there's no magic drops in Pirate's Fortress whatsoever. And you need magic to use the Lens of Truth to see Shiro, the guard that has the Stone Mask. So that's why I'm not doing any spiked rolls here or anything. I do want to conserve some magic. I'm definitely gonna need at least most of it to swim a little quickly with Zorlink. But I am gonna keep a sliver of magic left just to be able to use the Lens of Truth. If it actually weren't for the Lens of Truth, or just the Stone Mask being in Pirate's Fortress in general, I could probably just go crazy with magic. Because you can still actually swim fast with Zorlink, even if you're out of magic. But you would just have to mash R. Kind of like if you're just mashing A to roll. That sort of deal. Alright, so now that we've rescued her, we can go ahead and leave. Not going to get the Picto Box right away. I'll worry about that later, but for now we're heading straight back into Clock Town. And the reason why I come back here is because I want to immediately get another red potion, because I just used the one I got to revive the Red Twin Rover Witch. So I'm going to go here now, and this is why I got the 50 rupees from the Lens of Truth cave earlier. I'm going to go ahead and buy another bottle of red potion right now. And we're going to go ahead and make our way to Great Bay early to get the Zora Mask and the hook shot. Because the sooner we have hookshot, the sooner we have access. Bomb. Oh, oops. Alright, that was just a little too early. But no big deal. Well, you might ruin it. Oh, hey, that worked. Cool. Because it is actually possible to do the Deku Flower Slide off of an enemy boost. So that kind of worked out. That worked out pretty nicely, actually. Now, the reason why I put the Gorn Mask on first before putting on the Deku Mask, because that was actually the first time I put on the Deku Mask in the run. So it was to skip that little cutscene of putting the mask on for the first time, the transformation mask on for the first time. It was to really skip that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use spikes here to make things much more quickly here. And I still have enough magic to deal with the rest of the Zora swimming. Oh, and in this game, you can actually mash B as Human Link to swim a little faster. You can also mash B as Human Link to climb ladders faster. Even though you could mash B to swim faster as Human Link in Ocarina of Time, you can't do it in the original version of Majora's Mask for some reason, but they brought that back for the remake. So that's pretty convenient. And also, as you saw earlier, I did the Deku Flower Slide to go underneath the gate to get to the Great Bay area. And I also popped out from underneath the ground to land into the loading zone. Because what I did is that I equipped the Gorn Mask in midair, and upon landing, he put the Gorn Mask on, so that I came into this area as Gorn Link instead. So that's a nice little frame saver right there. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Sometimes he can actually just fall through the ground when he hits the loading zone. Which, it's not too bad. He'll still come into the next area, but he just wouldn't have the Goron Mask. And that's the thing, that's one of the nice things you can do in Majora's Mask 3D. You can equip masks while in mid-air, and Link will automatically put him on as soon as he lands. And that's very useful for a trick that's gonna come up really soon, called the Mask Jump. I'm going to be doing a Mask Jump to skip the sewers of Pirate's Fortress, but I will be making a safety save in the feather statue inside the Pirate's Fortress, because if I mess it up too many times, or if I get caught by one of the guards, that's gonna be a real serious blow to my current in-game time, and that's really important right now, and I'd rather not, attempt it over and over too many times with all the in-game time lost. So I'm definitely gonna be making that save, but hopefully it doesn't take any more than first try. All right, and also the location of Mikao's grave is exactly where he died, or at least close to it, if not exact. But it's not like way all the way in the back for some reason. So it's kind of convenient that we're still kind of close to this area, or close enough. Alright, so since I don't want to use up magic here, I'm going to go ahead and backwalk while I'm underneath the water. It's definitely not faster than fast swimming, but I do need the magic, so this is what I gotta work with. Gotta make do with the best we've got. So yeah, now we're in Pirate's Fortress, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and save right there. I'm gonna save right there. Because just in case, as I mentioned, if I don't get masked up first try, I could probably attempt it a second time, but if I don't get it the second time, then I would definitely have to reload that save. So mashing there is actually faster than doing dolphin dives. So I do that. If I mash quickly enough, it's possible to not use any magic at all, or as much. So that's why I did that, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Well, that's a little unfortunate. So what I wanted him to do was to do the mass jump. It would look like he did another, like a sort of a double jump in midair. But it doesn't really show him doing a jump attack or anything. So hopefully I get it the second time. Alright, cool. Okay. Second try is just fine. So I don't have to worry about reloading the save. So it's a nice, neat little thing you can do. Also, because, so basically how I did it is that I pressed the Gorn Mask touch button. Dang. That's okay. That's not a big deal. Because if you're quick enough, you can punch her before she catches you. But it's not too bad. So to do the mass jump, you gotta press, you gotta be able to equip the Gore Mask and do a jump attack at the same time. And the reason why I do that is because when you use a touchscreen button, it uses an item exactly 1 frame later. So pressing them at the same time, because in order to do the mass jump, you actually have to do a mass jump first, and then... Okay, yeah, I messed up here. Because what I'm used to there is that I didn't get caught the first time, and she actually normally wouldn't catch me, but then I kind of forgot that she caught me the first time at that very moment, and then she caught me instantly. I was supposed to wait while in the text box of Shiro, because the pirates can still move. The pirates can still move, but they can't catch me while I'm in the middle of a text box. But yeah, not too big a deal. There's actually a way to skip this cutscene by doing a glitch called time stop, but I would have to do it with bombs, and it is definitely frame perfect. It's one of the hardest tricks in this game, and my health and bomb count are already really low, and I already lost enough in-game time, so it's definitely not the most marathon safe thing to do. So I hope you like this cutscene. It's a pretty nice cutscene. And then right after this cutscene, I'm going to go ahead and just destroy the beehive as Zor Link. to chase them all out of this room, and then just get the hook shot, and then I'm out of Pirate's Fortress. So I'm gonna go ahead, shoot the fence, and then just jump, so that he could just stand there and witness the whole thing, as if nothing happened to him. And it's true, nothing happens to him, even though he destroyed it. But hey, whatever works. Game design, you know. So now that I have the hook shot, now is a great time to come back to the swamp area. Because now I can get the Picto Box, and from then on I have access to Gorn Missile. And Gorn Missile is definitely one of the best glitches in this game. It can make you go faster than anything Link has ever gone. At any speed Link has ever gone. Get another Deku Stick there just in case. I also got that fairy because I do want to be at full health, because I am going to be walking in a swamp and I don't want to die. Alright, and behold Gorn... Oh. Alright. Let's try that again. So, behold Gorn Missile. Except that didn't go the way that I had originally imagined, but at least I still got to skip the, Wait, it's over here. I still got to skip the Big Octo. So that's something. But what was supposed to happen, what my intention was here, was to get to this area, but have the entire area unloaded. So that I can get into the Swamp Spider House here without having to take the time to burn the web. Alright, so what I did right there just now is that I duplicated a bottle over the Lens of Truth. Having an extra bottle is going to help throughout the run. I mean, especially right here too. Oops. And it just generally helps to keep the bugs that's in my bottle right now. And I'm actually going to switch those two items now as well, because when the little text box appears that says that I got a Gold Scutula Spirit, when that as long as that text box is up there, I can't use any touch screen items. So I definitely want the hook shot on a buttoned item instead, because I can still use those, regardless of whether or not there's text on screen or not. Okay. I didn't want to go for the jump slash that time. I wasn't exactly sure how well that jump was. Because doing a jump attack skips having to, or at least a well-timed one would skip climbing up the ledge and stuff, but better climbing up the ledge than falling down. And also, other fun fact, in case you didn't know, you can save some extra frames by spinning the circle pad in a 360 motion after doing a jump slash to cancel the end lag. So it's pretty nice. Yeah, you're gonna hear that jingle a lot in this house. But it's actually the only spider house we do, because we don't actually do the Oceanside Spider House, because we get to do a glitch called Wallet Dupe later on, so that we can still get the Giant's wallet, but without having to do the Oceanside Spider House. So that's very convenient. Because normally you'd get a wallet upgrade by beating the Oceanside Spider House, and you kind of have to have the Giant's wallet for an all mask speedrun, because in order to purchase the all-night mask, you need 500 rupees, which means you need to be able to hold 500 rupees. But thanks to Wallet Dupe, we don't need to deal with the Oceanside Spider House, which is pretty nice. That saves a tremendous amount of time. And hey, Wallet Dupe is a pretty neat glitch when I get to that point. It's just a few more spiders to collect. And once I kill the final Scutula, the final gold Scutula, and collect its token, I'm going to immediately put some spring water into that bottle. And the reason why I do that is because we get to pour spring water on a very specific sunblock in Stone Tower Temple later on. And the pouring spring water on it is just going to make it go away for some reason. So that's going to be pretty nice. See, like right there. I'm going to go ahead and equip all the other stuff that I need. Normally, I would already have the Goron mask here. That's also a really nice thing of mask storage. Kind of like what I did with the mask jump. I just equipped the mask in mid-air, and that skips Link having to have to grab the ledge at all, which is very convenient. Since you just instantly go up there and equip the mask at the same time. That's very helpful. I'm going to go ahead and make my way to Deku Palace to learn the Sonata of Awakening, because there's no other way to get inside Woodfall Temple without it. So we do still need to come here. This won't be the last visit we're here, though. We do have to come back later on for the Massive Sense. So I'm just going to make my way here. Put this on. Use Goron Link to get to that area quickly, and then I'm gonna put on the stone mask here to just get past the guards. But you don't want to be too close to the guards, because they can actually still catch you if you're practically touching them. So you do still have to be just very slightly, just a bit careful. Is all. You basically don't want to touch the guards, because they can and will catch you, even if you are wearing a stone mask. Alright, and here we are. Now we learned the Sonata of Awakening. Once we regain control of Link, I'm gonna immediately play the Song of Soaring and head back into Clock Town, because there's a much faster way I can get to the Woodfall area without having to go through it the normal way, you know, by going through all the flowers and such. There's a much faster way to do that. And I'll be going to through Clocktown by doing so. Now the reason why I do go into Clocktown is because I'm gonna head into the fairy fountain over there and perform what's called Fairy Fountain Alternate Exit. And I'm able to do that thanks to Goron Missile. So that's one of the many things we're able to do thanks to Goron Missile. So you're going to see that very soon. Because when you're in the Fairy Fountain, all of the Fairy Fountains in the game are actually there. All 5 of them. They're all actually there. They're not all fully loaded, per se, but they're there. They exist. And more importantly, the loading zones to the areas that they're in exist. So, that's how we're going to be able to get to the Woodfall area quickly. So all I gotta do is just position myself right here and line myself up with a very certain spot of the wall and just Okay. I didn't get enough speed there. But no big deal. Just try again. There we go. And that's Fairy Fountain alternate exit? Oh, wait. Okay. There's the exit. And here we are in the Woodfall area. And just do another Goron missile to get to this platform very quickly. It's also a pretty nice change that in the remake, when we play Song of Soaring, we can just mash B to skip the little cutscene with the wings and such, and the red background. It's very nice. So yeah, you're definitely gonna see a couple more Goron missiles. I'm gonna do another Goron missile to get into the temple instead of just slowly flying as Deku Link. So I'm just gonna put that on. I'm gonna safety save right here, cause sometimes the Goron missile will crash. I've had it crash here once during practice. So I might just make a safety save right there, just in case. I'd rather it not crash. And go way back to the previous time I've saved it. But crashes with Goron Missile they're super rare. They don't really happen that often. But, you know, for a marathon's sake, way better safe than sorry. So even though this is still Goron Missile, I still like to call it Goron Teleport sometimes. Because he goes so fast, it looks like he just teleports. Because the way it is that if you do a Goron Missile while you're on flat ground, he's only going to go straight. But if you do it on a ramp or something, then that's when he goes straight upwards at an angle. And now we have the bow. And soon enough, we'll have the Adora Remains. But this is also one of the harder Goron missiles to go for, so hopefully this doesn't take too long. I also need Deku Nuts here, actually. Oh, I didn't get it. There we go. This should work. This looks good. So I use the bottom screen to make my way to where the boss loading zone is, and there it is. That was Woodfall Big Key Skip for you. The positioning on it is a little tight, and the nice thing about using Goron Missile with the hookshot is that you can tell if you have activated Goron Missile by seeing the hookshot float in midair to your right side. Because you can do it with the bow as well, but with the bow you can't really tell whether or not you got the Goron Missile until you actually, you know, do it. Yeah, this is one of the 2 fights in a run where I do rely on Deku Nuts. But this fight went really well. There were no issues with using the Deku Nuts, especially upon his landing. And there wasn't any issues of knocking him down after the first use either. Because you had to be at a certain spot behind him in order for the Deku Nuts to knock him down. So that was a really good fight. I'm happy with that. Hey, Peep. Thanks for the good luck wish. I appreciate that. So, it's really weird how Goron Missile works. Like, it kind of has something to do with, like, shooting the hookshot or shooting the bow. Like, that kind of speed. But, like, you gain speed when you roll a little bit as Goron before doing it. It's really strange. It's a really strange glitch, but I'm happy it exists. It's really fun to use. But something along those lines. So once I learn Oath to Order and regain control of Link, I'm gonna do another Goron missile and skip the cutscene where you meet the Deku Princess for the first time and immediately just capture her into a bottle. A classic Nintendo glitch. Yeah, absolutely.